So hello and welcome to West Wales, and it's a chilly November day, it has to be said, and my week really has not gone according to plan. So I try and put a video out on a Sunday, and I was kind of making this whole video about spinning Lincolnshire long wool, and I was recording it in the week because, as I've explained before, they take quite a long time to film because you've got to have the various different bits. Anyway, there was a hailstorm as I was filming it, and I kind of thought, oh, it'll be okay. Yeah, no, not okay. Couldn't hear a word I was saying. So I've sort of been in a bit of a huff, really, for the last few days. And I then tried to film another vlog, and I went to the charity shop, so did a bit of thrifting, and I managed to put my camera on the wrong setting. So everything was filmed in slow motion. I was just like, no. So I deleted all that. And so I kind of have no footage. So it didn't really go the way I was planning it to. So I thought I would just make an impromptu going for a walk video. So if I've actually set this up wrong, or it's too windy, or it's too rainy or something, then it kind of, I won't feel too downhearted because it's just going for a walk and a talking video rather than a sort of very in-depth tutorial type of video. Anyway, we're out and about, so I'm going to turn the camera around and show you where we are. So we're in a slightly scrubby part of our walk. Lots of lovely gorse bushes, which were very, very useful in years gone by. I've probably told you this before, but they used to be used for thatching. You'd crush them. There's kind of, let me show you. So these little sort of end bits, you'd crush them. So these sort of end spiky bits, they would get crushed. So if you ever go to St Fagans, there's a gorse mill, and they would crush these, and that was animal fodder. And they'd kind of bundle them all up, and they were faggots for lighting fires, particularly if you were lighting a fire for blacksmithing. So lighting a forge, they were particularly used. And then the flowers make a very lovely dye. And I'm going to re-record my dyeing with gorse video because it is like the first video that was on the channel. It's only about 2.5 minutes long, so I will re-record it at some point. There aren't quite enough flowers yet to do it, but they're not far off. There are quite a lot of oak in this woodland behind me, so I actually collect the oak galls or oak apples in this woods when I find them. So I will be eyes down looking for a full house, well, looking for oak apples, because I'm nearly at the point where I've actually got enough to kind of make an ink or a dye or something with them. So I only need a few more and I'll be there. So I think it must have been Thanksgiving weekend, this weekend that's just passed. Of course, we don't celebrate it in the UK. So happy Thanksgiving, or happy belated Thanksgiving if you're watching from the States. I think our closest equivalent maybe is Boxing Day, which is the day after Christmas, which is a bank holiday. So Christmas is a bank holiday and Boxing Day is a bank holiday. I mean, it's not the same at all, but it's I don't think you celebrate Boxing Day. I might of course be wrong about that, and please let me know. So yes, I have been thinking again about doing Vlogmas. I keep flip-flopping on this. I keep thinking, oh, I've got too much to do, but actually I quite like sharing the kind of the bits and pieces because I really love Christmas. I love putting up decorations, and you know, kind of, as I say, I went to the charity shop to kind of stock up on decorations for my big pot, and I will have to climb up into the scary spidery loft to go and get the Christmas decorations down. We don't normally have a real Christmas tree. We normally have a twig sprayed white. And then I hang baubles off that because, you know, I'm nothing if not frugal. Well, I don't think I am that frugal. I try to be frugal. I sometimes bit of a fail where it comes to being frugal. Anyway, yeah, so flip-flopping about it again. And the cake is made, and of course I didn't video that, and I've been pouring on the, not brandy actually, been pouring on Madeira, because traditionally you'd put brandy in it, you'd feed the cake with brandy, but we're actually feeding it with Madeira, just because we both prefer the flavour really. Anyway, let's walk on. Well, I was going to go down that footpath, but it is really overgrown. And it's overgrown with brambles. And I haven't got my secateurs with me. I quite often bring my secateurs in case I need to sort of cut my way through a path. But I didn't put them in the bag today. Oh well, we'll have to go a different way. Come on, come here. So I was just walking through this woodland looking at all the fallen leaves, and it struck me that I haven't seen any fly agaric this year. And they're the red and white mushrooms, you know, the kind of poisonous ones, toadstools. They're not really mushrooms, they're toadstools, aren't they? Anyway, I haven't seen any, and that's very unusual because this woodland, normally there are a really good number. And I've got some nice photographs of them that I use for reference photographs, for actually sketching. And as I keep telling you, I am trying this. I am trying. It's not going that well. I'm trying to kind of get the hang of making more complex patterns, because at the moment I make very simple patterns for wrapping paper that I put in my Zazzle shop. That is my little kind of part-time, because you know I only work part-time, so that's my little part-time side hustle thing that I do. And I've been making very straightforward patterns, and I'm trying to make more complex patterns. It's quite hard. I'm kind of, something's not clicking. But as I've said, I will continue because I don't give up very easily. So yeah. Anyway, I quite like them. I quite like to take reference photographs because then I can sketch them, because what I'm trying to do is work in vectors, which is better for fabric design than PNGs and JPEGs, which is really, really good for doing stationery, which is basically what I've been doing for the last 8 years. So that was really boring, wasn't it? Telling you about different file types. You didn't need to know that. Anyway, so yeah, I'm still kind of a bit frustrated by that. I mean, I did make a couple of new patterns and I am quite pleased with them, but they're still not perfect. I will drop in a little picture of them so you can see, and you can tell me what you think and go, no, that's really awful. Try again, dear. Or you can say, yeah, it's coming along. You know, both are valid. Both are valid. Over the last few months, I've been loading some of the patterns onto Spoonflower, the print-on-demand shop that specialises in fabric. And I really don't have a signature style. I've been trying all sorts of things. Some of my watercolours, some of my block prints, and some of my sketches. This is a little cute bear eating an ice cream, surrounded by ice creams and strawberries and bunting, and I'm pretty pleased with it. I think it's one of my better patterns. I'm still not 100% sure about some of my colour combinations, but you know, you've just got to try. So this is the start of a little collection around the theme of cowgirl, and it's very popular at the moment, and I've gone for sort of pinks and greens, and we've got a little cactus wearing a cowgirl hat and some cowgirl boots and all sorts of things. So I am slowly getting there. But as I've said, it's been much more difficult than I thought, and really I'm trying to get the rhythm of the patterns correct. Again, this is another one that I'm relatively pleased with. This is part of the Cowgirl collection, and you can see it's also available on wallpaper. I'm not sure I'd buy it on wallpaper, but it is available on wallpaper as well as fabric and curtains and all sorts of other things. Now the next pattern I'm going to show you I'm really quite pleased with. And I think I'm starting to get closer to what I am gonna call my signature style. Because if you scroll through my shop, and I will put a link in the description, you'll see I've got all sorts of different things. But this, I think, is getting closer to where I want to be. And I think it looks really good on bedding, which is what I've put it on. And it's very much inspired by coastal living. And I think it's getting there. Well, water started falling from the sky, so we better start heading back. Well, I found about 6 oak galls, so they are in my pocket and they will go in the jar with the rest of them. And yeah, it's getting close to that point where I have to start experimenting. But the light is going, and as I say, water is starting to fall out of the sky, so I am gonna head back. I don't think this is going to be a very long video. If there's still light when I get back, I will show you what I found at the charity shop, because I'm quite pleased with it. It's just there is no footage of me actually rummaging through and finding it. So, hey ho. Right, I'm in slightly less of a huff than I was when I started the walk. I'm quite huffy at the moment. I'm just like, oof, oof. You know, one of those days. It's the winter. I do get the winter blues, so I have to kind of try and shake it off. Anyway, I hope you're doing a fun project. As ever, let me know what you're working on. And I will see you back at the house, fingers crossed, as long as it's not too dark when I get back. Back in the echoey conservatory, and the light is going, but I'm just going to do it anyway. So, what did I find at the charity shop? So this gift bag is full of, oh, you can't see, it's full of baubles. So there was a big trunk of baubles, and it was fill a gift bag with baubles for £2. So I did, and they're kind of silvery. I tried to go for all silver ones. There are a couple of gold ones as well, but there's like these gold disco balls, and I just couldn't resist them. I tried to think how much they were when they were new, but I was like, gotta have a bit of sparkle. You just do, don't you? It's Christmas, you just have to have a bit of sparkle. And somewhere in there are some bells, and kind of a nice little star, nice little star of Bethlehem, I guess, isn't it? Yeah, I guess that's what that's supposed to be. So I like that very much. Then the other thing was tinsel. So each one of these was 50p. I was like, I'm having myself some of those. Again, I've gone for the silver because I've kind of got white and silver in my decorations. I mean, this one, brand new, never even been used. And they're nice and long, and they haven't lost their kind of bits of tinsel, which kind of does happen as they get a bit older. So that will go to make up kind of a bit more of the Christmas. And then in here we have crackers. So the quite good quality ones, I don't know where they're from, but it's kind of nice cardboard and they're quite good quality. So I thought on the table they'd look nice. And we're kind of having 2 Christmases. Well, we might have 3 Christmases actually. So Andrea and I will have our Christmas. Then he's got members of his family coming down after Christmas. And then depending on kind of timing and things, we might go to Somerset. I don't know. I think it depends really if we can get some accommodation that's not crazy amounts of money. Because the last time we tried to do it, it was just like, yeah, we'll go off season. So anyway, so there you go. And then last of all, how much were they? I think she charged me 50p for these. I can't actually remember. And at the bottom of the bag, some cards. I mean, really, I should make my own Christmas cards because I'm perfectly capable of doing it. But by the time you've printed them yourself, and you can get like this, again, they are 10 Christmas cards, not opened. It's 50p. And I mean, they are quite, I mean, they originally weren't 50p. Looking if I can see a price. Because I haven't got my glasses because I've snapped the arm off. I mean, they're only readers, but I can't actually see if there was a price on there originally, so who knows. Anyway, not 50p. So that is what I got at the charity shop that I didn't manage to film. Well, I did film it, but it was in slow motion with me kind of going, which, probably not a good look. So why I did that impression, I don't know. Yeah. Right, okay, so what am I going to do now? I'm going to show you the Christmas cake because I'm quite pleased with it. And, why not? So let's go in the kitchen, have a look at the Christmas cake. So as you can see, I decided against having an iced cake, and I just put the little almonds on so they look all pretty, and you don't have to ice it because none of us need icing really at our age. We don't want type 2 diabetes, so no icing. I mean, there's enough sugar and, masala or whatever. Are we putting masala? No, Madeira, not masala. Enough masala. No, Madeira, enough Madeira and sugar in there. Plus it's fruit cake, so lots of dried fruit. Definitely don't need sugar in the icing. So yeah, there you go. And one last thing I forgot to show you. Okay, so this is the cutest little tin, she says. And another thing I didn't film because I was in a huff was when I was out on one of my walks, someone had put this out, for free. I don't know whether they do that around you, but around us, if you've got stuff that you want to give away, you just kind of put it out on the street, on the pavement with a little sign, kind of free to a good home. And someone had done that. And so I've got this little tin, and originally it had chocolates in it. So I am going to make some, I don't know, maybe truffles or something to go in, but something to go in for Christmas. She says, after saying we don't need any more sugar, I'm going to make some sweets. Hey ho. Anyway, that is enough of me rambling, and I will see you in a few days' time. Bye for now.